And hello everyone, JonFly here with another episode of Xplanated. That's right, Xplanated. Episode 5. We've actually made it to episode 5. Had a lot of great response, so I appreciate all of you making the effort to provide feedback for the vlog, whether it be negative or feedback. We'll take the constructive criticism. We're just doing a flight here. As you can see, this is a replay of a flight that I did from John Wayne down to Palomar, an FS economy run. And yeah, we'll just have that in the background and talk a little bit about what's been going on in the world of X-Plane lately. Lot of excitement, a lot of stuff going on. Some of the highlights for me are I've been doing a lot of shared cockpit. Smart Copilot, one of the greatest inventions for immersion with regard to flight simulation. The shared feeling, taking the same exact aircraft up in the air with another fellow flight sim enthusiast. Sharing some of the duties, but also just sharing in the experience of a particular flight. And then you can further enhance that by taking that shared cockpit experience online, whether it be Pilot Edge, online ATC, or adding FS Economy, adding that to your immersion, VATSIM, iVal, all of those wonderful things that give us a little more realism into the hobby. But I've been doing shared cockpit, and I've been fortunate to be joined by my friend Justin. On Twitch, he's known as JSnap1982. And so, give him a follow on twitch.tv/JSnap1982. He's done a lot of shared cockpit with me in several different aircraft. We've done shared in the IXEG 737-300. We've done shared in the Baron B-58 by Carenado. And we've done shared in the 727. The Carenado Piper PA-31 Navajo. And just recently we did shared in two aircraft that aren't on the list of aircraft that have a smart copilot config. And Justin is extremely intelligent and whipped up some config files for both the Embraer E170 Evo jet that just came out recently, and also a smart copilot config for the Caravan 208 by Carenado, the Cessna 208. And it's been really fun doing shared cockpit in this particular plane. I was really happy. In fact, I convinced JSnap1982 to get on FS Economy, and we did a run together in a Caravan 208. So anyway, I've been really enjoying it. I highly recommend that you check out and purchase the utility called Smart Copilot, and then you too can enjoy the shared aspect of this great simulator X-Plane. We'll be doing more testing of the Embraer 170 shared cockpit. There was some issues with the FMC. We did basic navigation, and we noted 5 or 6 other issues that Justin will be trying to tackle. It's always refinement, but for the most part, the 733, the Baron, the Navajo, the 208, those are all working to, I would say 90%, and which you can get away with not having 10% of the ability for both of you to change things or manipulate things in the cockpit environment. The Embraer 170 is a bit more off. I wouldn't give it that high of a percentage. And we've recently had some issues with the 727 V2, but I imagine we'll be able to figure those out pretty soon. I haven't been back in that plane for a little while since my taco stand experience. Been kind of having PTSD with regard to the 727 V2. Anyway, the other thing that's going on here is I have been talking. I've been trying to get an event. I've tried unofficial events, the idea of unofficial events on some of these online networks, and I just happened to notice that it had been 7 or so months since the last Pilot Edge event. So I was in communication with the management at Pilot Edge and was inquiring about an event, and I guess that there's a lot of other people that are wanting an event, and then they got a hold of me just recently saying that there will be an event in August. This event will be in Colorado. It'll be a fly-in on the Pilot Edge network. The only details I have at this time are that it is going to be the Aspen Airport, Kilo Alpha Sierra Echo. And I also have a ballpark date of after Oshkosh, but hopefully in August. So I haven't seen anything official yet. As soon as I know any more details, I will let you know. Farewell to GPB 500 John Wayne Airport scenery. And I just noticed that my overlays are not in play. My custom scenery INI file is to blame for no overlays at this particular moment. Well, that's okay. What that basically means is I don't have any trees or moving vehicles or buildings, and it's an easy fix in my INI file. But I won't stop the blog. We'll keep blogging. The other thing that I was talking about doing in my future vlogs was my top 6 payware. And the top 6 payware aircraft in Xplane is what I'm going to go through. I didn't do 5. I did my top 6. A couple of those were really close enough, so I just decided to go to my top 6. So this is my personal opinion, and I do have the top 6, but I also have honorable mentions. So we'll start at number 6. Number 6 is this aircraft, the Coronado Cessna 208 HD by Coronado. And some of the reasons I just really love this aircraft are the aesthetics, the details, the textures, the resolution. Just all of this it's just very well modeled inside and out. The flight dynamics I thought were great, but AeroSim Gaming did some modifications to the flight dynamics and even made them better. So I'm running a modified version of the Caravan 208, and you too can get that from AeroSim Gaming. I believe his website is aerosimgaming.com. The 5th plane in my top 6 happens to be another Coronado aircraft, the Piper PA-31 Navajo. I really do like this plane. I'm flying a modified version of the original plane done by AeroSim Gaming. With some, anyone can go into Xplane and change some of the dynamics via PlaneMaker, and he's done so with the Piper PA-31 Navajo. So that's in my 5th spot. 4th spot is the FlyJ Sim 727 V2. Even though I am far from being an expert at that aircraft, I enjoy firing up the engines, all 3 of them. I enjoy the new FMC. I enjoy the autopilot after I learned how to use it. I enjoy hand flying it. It flies very well. I can guarantee you it'll be a long time before I crash that plane again due to pitch. So I'll take that bird back out. Again, I have to get over my PTSD. Number 3rd favorite aircraft is the FlyJ Sim, also 732. I'm very much looking forward to when Jack, Flying Jackal, FlyJSim, releases the update for the 732 to accommodate the XFMC. Really, really excited about that. But before the FMC is there, I just really like this plane. I love the sounds. I love the model. I love the characteristics of the flying. I like doing flying slant alpha in a big jet. So yeah, those both of those planes are great. Number 2 on my most favorite payware aircraft is, and yes, I'm going back from general aviation over to airliners, back and forth, and that's okay. These are just JonFly's favorites, right? The number 2 is the Airfoil Labs Cessna 172 version 1.5. 1.6 is a little bit sensitive on the maintenance side, and I'm hoping that they allow for that to... I know that they're trying to be as realistic as possible, but at the same time I think they've gone a little overboard with how easily things fail, or how difficult it is to start for someone who hasn't flown in a Cessna 172 before. Now, whether it be real world or sim, I know they're trying to get more realistic, but I think over time they're going to refine the sensitivity of that maintenance engine. And also, they need to take a page from FlyJSim. The 727V2 allows you to turn maintenance off for those of you who want to just fly the aircraft and not necessarily worry about how long the APU has been running for the last month as far as maintenance, wear, and tear. Some of you may enjoy that, some of you may not. I like the ability to have options. With that, we get to the number 1 favorite aircraft. And I'm sure by process of elimination, many of you have figured out which aircraft that is. Kind of in a pitch-up attitude here. By the way, this is Ortho 4XP as far as the scenery goes. I did not make this scenery. I'm the benefactor of a guru who really knows how to use this simulation to get the best looking scenery on the planet. So, number 1, the IXEG 733 or 737-300 Classic. This is my favorite aircraft. I tend to fly more general aviation, and some of that is due to comfort level. Some of that is due to the fact that I want to be on FS economy, making money. But I can't use a 737-300 on FS economy at present. So when I'm not on FS economy, and maybe when I'm not, necessarily on a PE network, I'll jump into 733. I've done shared cockpit. I've also done 733 on the Pilot Edge network, and I plan on doing more of that. 1.07 seems to be a very stable version of that aircraft. So that is, and there's so many factors as to why that's my favorite aircraft. That's kind of cool. So in an instant replay, my SciTech panel is changing frequency as if it was real world. So I'm watching the SciTech panel numbers move here because in the actual flight I did tune my secondary or my standby radio, and it just changed here on the SciTech panel. Well, that's kind of cool. Anyway, I love the cockpit. I love the textures. I love the 3-dimension. I love the new SSG 170, but the textures inside the cockpit are a little on the cartoonish side, I guess I could say. The IXEG is great on the textures. It's great on the exterior model. The flight dynamics, as far as I know, they're great. The procedures, I don't know. Now, granted, I find glitches in the FMC, but what FMC do we not find glitches in? So, kudos to IXEG and Tom, one of the developers there. I was able to meet at Flight SimCon great guy, down to earth, and hopefully, Tom, you're watching. And again, JonFly gives you the #1 pay-wear aircraft in JonFly's opinion. Honorable mention goes out to we have another 6 aircraft honorable mention in no particular order. The Mitsubishi MU2, the Flight Factor 767, the Saab 340, the SSG 170, and Piper PA32 Saratoga, and the TBM 850. Those are my honorable mentions, all tied for 7th at present. That could change in the future. So yeah, check out any of one of those aircraft. If you're not a Twitch.tv spectator, I recommend you check it out. Twitch.tv/JonFly, JonFly. You can interact with me live. You can interact with friends of mine that come to watch, and people from all over the world. And I fly all of these aircraft. And on occasion, I give away gift certificates toward these aircraft. So I encourage you to come check out Twitch.tv/JonFly. And also click the follow button below. Also looking for subscribes on the YouTube channel, so consider clicking the subscribe button below. Also, if you like this video, consider clicking the thumbs up. If you don't like this video hit the thumbs down. And then if any constructive criticism in the comments below is more than welcome. I talked about the SSG 170, the Embraer 170 Evo or Evolution jet that came out recently. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm new to the UFMC, and there's a few things I've found with the plane that are wrong, but for the most part, I've been able to program in a route, taxi, or start the engine from cold and dark, taxi, take off, navigate, land, and shut down successfully. It's not what I call JonFly PE certified at this present time. And what JonFly PE certified means, I'm not comfortable enough with the plane to take it out on pilot edge yet. I hope to get to that point. Big shout out to Jamie Nicholson, one of my Twitch.tv followers, who made a significant donation that allowed me to acquire the SSG 170. I'm also very much looking forward to doing shared cockpit and or a tutorial session with Mermoz, M3RM0Z. He's also on Twitch.tv. And that brings me to my next point. I want to talk to you a little bit about the Global Sim Alliance. For those of you who are on Twitch or not on Twitch, sometimes we go and we try to locate people who are good streamers, and maybe those good streamers have recommendations of who may else provide quality streams. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Global Sim Alliance. So over here on the other monitor, this is the twitch.tv/team/Global Sim Alliance. And there are several flight simmers. Now, granted, some of these people, as you can see here, we have Pedro Dowd, who is also streaming other games. But for the most part, the people on this list, they do flight simulation, and a majority of them are on Pilot Edge. So I just want to go through each one for a moment and talk about the members of the Global Sim Alliance. Of course, I'm JonFly, and one of the inspirations for me for how to do my stream and how to fly, and I've been so lucky to fly with him on 2 occasions, and that is Mr. Josh J. Gibbs. So Josh J. Gibbs has a very quality stream, both big jets and also general aviation aircraft, and he's on iVow, and he's also on Pilot Edge, and he sometimes flies off network, and we just have a great time together. I consider him a great friend. I went down to his home. He graciously hosted me for a weekend back in January of this year, and then he and I also were elegantly hosted by Cirrus Max, the next on the list. Max had us come out to New York, and we went to Flight SimCon together. And as some of you know, he took us up in his Cirrus SR. It was SR 22, and we flew around a couple of days up there and had a great time. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can check out our flight and our departure from JFK in the real world in the Cirrus aircraft. Cirrus Max just recently started streaming, so give him a follow. He does a lot of Pilot Edge, and yeah, he streams both Boeing, Airbus, and the Cirrus aircraft, and I think the other day he may have been streaming the Legacy, the Lancer Legacy. Next on the list of the Global Sim Alliance, AeroSim Gaming. As I mentioned before, he did the modifications to the PA-31 Navajo and also to the Caravan 208, and he's worked on a bunch of other planes to make the flight model that much better. He provides a quality stream, and he's probably the most regular streamer of the group. He's on at least 5 days a week and sometimes more. In fact, if 2 or 3 days go by and we don't see an AeroSim Gaming stream, we wonder what's going on. Sorcerer Dave, also a quality streamer, a lot of X-Plane. I do see an occasional other game here or there, but he does a great stream. He's got some insight. One thing I like about Sorcerer Dave is that he does some of the older aircraft and sometimes more complicated aircraft, and he breaks them down. He's not afraid to take them out and give them a whirl. So there we go. Dane Flats, I haven't caught too many of your streams, sir, so I'm looking forward to... You were recommended by several Global Sim Alliance members to add to the list. Crazy Diamond has some of the best scenery on the planet. He's also a Pilot Edge member. Torbinator 97 also has great scenery, and he's on Pilot Edge. Now we all love Cat Strader, and Cat Strader does quality streams once or twice a week, sometimes more. And one of these days we're going to get him on the ortho photo train, but at present he really loves breaking down planes and talking about them and flying, doing VAT Sim and Pilot Edge, and yeah, he's just an all-around good guy that gives a lot of personality in his stream. So check him out. If you click down here at the bottom, page 2, we got Marcus MMC, who is a Pilot Edge controller. So he streams the Scope. Great stream, and just recently the resolution on the Scope on his stream has improved dramatically. So in the past there was a little bit of fuzziness to the stream, but it's recently got really good, so you can see the details of the aircraft. M3RM0Z Mermoz, he's a real-world pilot, flies the Embraer 175, I believe, or it could be the 170, or both. He is a real-world pilot, and I'm looking forward to him teaching me more about that plane. RA Flyer has a real 737-200 cockpit at his home and streams from the cockpit. FSX Guru 15 is in Norway, and he does both P3D and X-Plane. Bonanza Dude, mostly P3D, but some X-Plane. He also is on Pilot Edge. JSnap 1982 is on Pilot Edge, and a recent new addition to the Global Sim Alliance. And he's the expert in scenery, building, and also the smart co-pilot that I was talking about earlier. K Smith, PE, is Keith Smith. He's a Pilot Edge controller as well, and also happens to be the founder of Pilot Edge. M. Congrove is a scenery designer. Some of his accomplishments include the Austin Airport, and also he is going to release LaGuardia 2020 Airport, if not now, soon. Max Waldorf, great guy, streams fun stuff and also does a lot of programming with regard to X-Plane. Don't know Max too well, look forward to more streams of his. Rob KBTL does also stream airport scenery design. He's working on KBTL at present. And the Coop 1019, he's working on an aircraft, I believe it's called the Hawker. I talked about it in a previous Xplanated video. And he also streams that development. GameSins Air is, some of you know the TFTDI, is that how you say it? The gentlemen who are developing the 717 for P3D. He's a part of their group. He was the actual gentleman who ran the stream for the Twitch stream for the 717. That was just huge. They had a lot of people watching. He's going to be start streaming that amongst other things, so we've added him to the list. HeliPilot 7 does great operations, sometimes on Pilot Edge, a lot on Pilot Edge actually. And Disgraced Pilot, haven't seen you for a while, buddy. If you're out there, we enjoy your streaming on Pilot Edge in the general aviation aircraft, particularly your expertise with the Baron B-58. And then Chase LVK is also a Pilot Edge controller who streams the scope. So I hope that was helpful in learning a little bit more about what's out there. If you want to go to any of these guys, you can go to twitch.tv/team/Global Sim Alliance and get the list, or you can go to twitch.tv/ and then their name that I've mentioned. And anytime one of those are streaming, you'll see Global Sim Alliance up at the top. Yeah, so a couple other subjects. I try to make these blogs about a half hour long. We're just coming up here to Palomar. Got a few more things to talk about. We will go ahead and fast forward this a little bit as we enter the downwind here at Palomar. There's Palomar up there. I'm tempted to come in and do some editing of the ortho photo so it uses the ortho from that I've generated. That's what's out here. But again, I don't have any overlays at present. I've got to fix that in my INI file. So, a few more things. So, in the show notes below, I'm going to leave a link to my Discord server. Discord is quickly becoming a popular platform for streamers to interact with their fellow, their followers and their friends, and maybe those that they don't know so well. They can go onto the Discord. They can participate in live voice chat with streamer, with others, and also they can participate in a forum-like area where you can exchange pictures and files and talk amongst different Xplane and P3D folk about what you're doing with the sim. So I'm going to leave an invite in the comments below. Feel free to join the Discord server if you have the Discord app. If you don't, go ahead and just check out discordapp.com, discordapp.com, and also there's a standalone app. So check it out. You can interact with me on the stream or off the stream a little more easily. Second to last subject is XPlaneCon. I'm really trying to get XPlaneCon to get some traction. The dates have been set for March, and it's going to be in Las Vegas. And it's an interesting dynamic trying to start a convention for the first time. But the dates are March 10th to 12th, 2017, a weekend. It's coming up quicker than we think. And yeah, give me some comments below if you think that you'd want to attend. I think the first year will probably be a little smaller than we'd like, but we got to get together and start this, and then every year we can make it bigger. And yeah, we can make it that much. You know, we can have exhibits down the road. We can have panel discussions. We can have all sorts of good time. I'm thinking about putting together a streaming PC down there where we all take turns and do maybe a 24 or even a 36-hour stream. Probably 24, but. And you take your 2-hour shift or 3-hour shift and you fly around either in any plane of your choice. Thinking about doing that. We're also thinking about having some guest attendees, guest speakers, etc. So, yeah, let me know if that would be something of interest to you, and let me know what you'd like to see. I think eventually we'll have an exhibit hall, but I think the first year will probably be a conference room type scenario where we talk and share, and then we go out and we have fun, and while we're having fun in the normal Vegas routine, we share maybe our experiences with Xplane. The main motivation for doing XPlaneCon is to have a flight simulation convention that is out west. Flight SimCon being in Connecticut, it's a little more difficult to get to, but also having something that's a little more focused on just X-Plane. For those of us who prefer this simulator, it'd be really nice to have a convention that is very focused on this, and eventually it's something that we can build on and maybe even move around to different locations. But it's always going to stay in the West. I don't know of any other X-Plane conventions, whether they be international or national, but if you know of any, let me know, because I'd love to learn from those people who have attempted to do that in the past. Okay, we're back here in the cockpit of the Caravan 208. We're not in instant replay mode anymore. And I wanted to talk about a plugin that I recently discovered on another X-Plane, another forum on Facebook. Some of you may be familiar with Xplanated, Wycliffe over there in the UK, and a bunch of his friends and associates have Xplanated. And yeah, he mentioned that Plane Command is a plugin that basically does voice control for your aircraft. So I wanted to just briefly demonstrate what I've been doing. Some of you may have caught it on my live stream, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty handy, especially when you're task saturated, maybe on an online network. But let me give you just a few examples. So I've mapped a joystick button that I press, and then this little headset up here in the right hand corner. Do need to move the Xplanated logo because it's a little bit blanked out. We'll just move it right there. Just above the Xplanated logo is a headset. So when I press my joystick button, that's lit up. And so that means the system is listening to me. So over here, we're going to go over, we'll just give you an example of a few things that it'll do. So if I zoom in to the transponder off, transponder on. Set transponder 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can change the transponder with my voice. Set transponder 7275. Boom. It's picking up all that with my voice. Now we'll go ahead and zoom in to COM 1, right? Let's say I need to do a frequency change. Set COM 1 121.5. Set nav 1 112.7. Swap COM 1. Actually, maybe it's not swap. Maybe it's switch. This is something that I've just started using just recently here. Here we go. Flip COM 1. And as you can see, it went from primary to secondary. Flip COM 1. And then of course you got COM 2 down here. Set COM 2 119.9. And so it's setting COM 2. Flip COM 2. And it's flipping the standby into use. So that's kind of cool. A couple other things. We'll go down here to the flaps. Flaps 1. Flaps 2. Full flaps. Flaps full. No, that one didn't work. Still learning some of the phraseology. Extend the flaps all the way. Yep. Flaps up. Flaps up. Flaps up. Or you could say extend flaps. Extend flaps all the way. Go to flap 0. Boom. Flap 0. So as you can see there, you can do a lot of voice command. I think there's a couple other things I haven't tried yet that will work. Oh, let's do this. Let's zoom in on the altimeter. Set altimeter 2992. Boom. It sets the altimeter. There's a lot of autopilot modes that it'll go into. Engage autopilot. And you'll turn autopilot, and you can engage heading mode, approach mode, all that good stuff. It's pretty cool. And then if we go up to the lights, I'm sorry, I got mistaken for a different aircraft. So here we go. We got your different lights. Turn strobe on. Turn nav on. Turn nav lights on. That one may be a little bit different command. Strobe lights on. Taxi lights on. Beacon light on. The nav may be something else. Not sure about that one. I'll have to investigate that one. And a couple other things here that you can do. Release park brake. Release parking brake. See? Set parking brake. So there are a couple more commands. You can do speed bug. You can do course. A lot of stuff. And this works in every plane, essentially. Now, granted, you can't obviously set some things in a general aviation aircraft that you set in a tube liner, but you get the idea. So go to planecommand.com. There's a free version. You can try it out with, I believe it's 6 or 9, 9 free commands. You can command your flaps. You can say landing gear down. It'll do landing gear down. Landing gear up. It'll do landing gear up. So it's simulating that first officer or that co-pilot environment. You can set the transponder, lights, brakes, flaps, radio for free. And then if you want to do some of the autopilot and some of the more advanced, turning on your APU, for example, some of those things you need to pay, I believe it's $19. And I did that, and it's well worth it. So check it out, planecommand.com. For now, we'll go ahead and say adios from Xplanated, episode 5, and check us out in the future on twitch.tv/JonFly. Thanks for tuning in. See ya.